Welcome to the Budget Mom YouTube channel. I'm Kamiko Love from thebudgetmom.com, and today I am taking you with me on a journey of testing out a new dip kit for my nails. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I am huge on doing my own nails at home. It has saved me a ton of money from going to the salon, and for the years it's really become one of my favorite hobbies. So I do everything from tips to acrylic to dip to gel. I do it all. But one of my favorite ways to do my own DIY nails at home is actually dip, because it makes your nails stronger. So if you suffer from really brittle, thin nails like I do, dip is great because it actually becomes pretty thick on your nail and makes them stronger. Plus they last a lot longer than gel or regular nail polish. So today we're going to be testing out a new dip kit, and I just want to note, I have no idea how this is going to turn out. I've never used this product or kit before. I don't know if these nails are going to turn out horrible. I've read through the instructions, so let's get started. So the new dip kit I am trying today is actually by a company called AVVA. And this is what the kit looks like. And this is what you get. Now I got the French dip starter kit. It comes with all of these different colors. A French dip powder container that looks like this. You can dip and actually get a nice French style manicure with it. It comes with a brush to dust out your powder, as well as all of these different clips that you soak a cotton ball in acetone. This is for removing the dip. You soak a cotton ball in acetone, put it on your nail, and these hold that cotton ball in place so you can soak off your dip. I also bought a couple of other different colors. I bought a white, a clear, and today we're going to be testing out their glitter colors. I am huge into the glitter colors of dip, so I'm always excited to try new glitter colors. So we're going to be testing out that on one of my fingers today. Very quickly, I want to mention I do use the OPI nail strengthener. So every single time I do my own nails or I'm taking a break from my nails, like right now, it's what I have. These are my real nails without tips. And then I also use, after I'm done doing my nails, the OPI nail and cuticle oil. So let's get started. I use an electronic nail file that looks like this. If you are a DI nailer at home, I highly recommend getting an affordable electronic nail file from like Amazon. I got this on Amazon for like 25 bucks. It is amazing. It makes things a lot easier. I file my gel off with it rather than soaking my gel off. It just makes things a lot easier. So I'll put that in the description of this video. So the first step is you just want to rough up your nail base. You don't have to do it a lot. You just want to make sure that you just rough up your nails. All right, so now that I have my nails kind of roughed up, and you can use also a nail file that looks like this. You can just really quickly rough up your nail that way as well. If you want to use just a normal file. Now, the first step in this kit is a number one, it's the base. And today we are going to be using one of the colors that comes with the kit. It's color 012. It's like this really light, it looks almost like a teal color, but that's the color we're going to use. So as you can see, it looks like this. It's like a tealish color. So you want to get that out. Now with me, I like to just shake up my dip powder before I use them, especially if they're brand new. And get your dip powder out and ready. Now, I have been a fan, and I have yet, in the last 2.5 years that I've been doing dip nails, I have yet to find a dip kit that I like more than Kira Sky. In my opinion, Kira Sky is the highest quality level of at-home dip that you can buy. It's a lot more steps than the dip kit we're using today. So this is only 3 steps. The Sierra Sky is anywhere between 4 and 5 steps. So, but I believe the quality is better. We'll see what happens when I use this. So the first step, and you want to do 1 nail at a time. The first step is getting a really nice, even layer of base. Now, when you are doing dip, it's important to not get the base all the way down to your cuticles. You want to leave some space between the powder and your cuticles so you can do a nice file job around your cuticles. You want to make sure that that is very even. All right, so I have that done, and then you want to just dip it into the powder. So it'll look like that. Now for the purpose of this video, my nails are pretty short. I use this brush. I just got it on Amazon. I like how big it is. And then what you want to do is just very gently remove any of the excess powder. Now, I'm going to do another coat. You can do, I like to do about 2 to 3 layers of dip. And do you see how I'm leaving some space? And depending on how light the color is that I'm using, I might do 3 layers. So nice even coat again, back into the dip. And you might want to dip it a couple times. I just tap. This is going to be beautiful with just a couple of layers. You can see what that looks like here. And if you see, I did not go all the way down to the cuticle. Okay, I left some space. Once again, you want to lightly get rid of that excess. And if you hit some on the top, like because my nails are so short, that's okay. You can use your electronic file to get rid of that if you got any of the dip on your skin. So that's the first layer. And you know, looking at this, I'm going to add another layer because this is a very light color. And I want to make sure that I get all the spaces. There's a file step in this process too, which will allow you to file and get this really nice and thin how you like it. But I just want to do 1 more dip. All right. You want to just kind of get rid of some of that excess. So that's my first dip nail. So then you would do the same process on all 3 nails, making sure that you leave some space in between your cuticles. Now, if you do get the base down to your cuticles, that's okay. That's what the filing stage is for. This step you want to do very carefully. It's probably one of the most important steps. See, that second coat's going to allow you to get places that you missed. So I'm going to get all the way Now on the sides of my nails, I go all the way to the cuticles, but not down towards the bottom. So far, I'm really liking the quality of their powders. Usually I can tell right away if it's a cheap powder by the way that it looks on the nail when you first apply it, but this one looks to be very good. I like how thick it's showing up when you first apply it on the nail. So that's the second one. Now, this is the nail I'm going to do with the glitter. So I'm just going to do this one more time on this. Yeah, I think it looks really, really nice. I'm really liking the dip powder. I'm kind of picky about my dip powders and the quality of them. So this is nice. All right, so that's 3 layers. So I'm doing 3 layers. And you can see there's some bumps going on here that will be fixed in the filing process. All right, the next one we're going to test out today. And you want to shake up, anytime you're using a glitter, you want to shake it up really well. You can see I haven't even used this one before. You can see that's the glitter. I have no idea how this is going to look. We'll see. All right, here it goes. And keep in mind, what you first see won't be the final look because you still have to add your top coat. I think that's really pretty. I love the look of that. We're gonna do 3 coats of this just like I did with the green. It's really turned into like an aquamarine color, which I really like for the summer. I'm not usually all about bold colors, but this one I'm really liking. So essentially that's what it looks like. I'm gonna move that one aside, get my green back out. And we're gonna do my last nail for this video. All right, so that's my nails dipped. And now what we're going to do, you want to make sure you close your bottle immediately. Put that back. I almost forgot step number 2. We have to apply step number 2, which is the activator. So with the activator, you don't really care. You just kind of throw it on. This is what's going to activate your dip. But make sure you apply it pretty generously. You want to make sure that every part of that dip, and you can see I'm getting around my cuticles, that's fine. So now that we have the activator on there, I'm gonna give that a minute to dry. I always close my bottles as soon as I'm done using them because you don't want any dry, crusted stuff to get around the cap because then it's gonna be a hard time opening it again. Now the next thing we're going to do is on my electronic file, what I use to smooth my nails is I use just this tip. It's a metal tip that looks like this. It does really great with smoothing out. Now, when you're filing down your nails, I'm just gonna get this extra that we got on my skin here. Get those off my skin. And you can see it's not hurting my skin at all. That's what I like about this tip. I'm just getting what I went over. Okay, you wanna focus on one really important thing around the cuticles. So I actually did a pretty okay job. I'm not too, and I just make sure I smooth out any bumps. Now, let me say one thing. This part in doing your nails is one of the reasons I love Kara Sky so much more. Because when you use Kara Sky dipping kits, there's an extra step. You put on a clear dip on top of the color dip, which really allows you to go to town when you file your nails. These 3-step process dip kits, if you file too much, you file down the color and you end up ruining the dip color you just put on your nails. That's one of the reasons I like Kara Sky, so I'm just being very careful. I use my finger and I feel, is that smooth? And I have some areas that need filed down. All right, I feel that's really smooth and nice. Now, before you start filing, you can also shape your nails. So you can shape. Now, my nails are pretty thin for this video, so I don't have a lot of shaping to do. But you can see, as I like to do the square shape. So I'm just gonna file down. And because we did 3 layers, I'm just gonna take some time to really make sure that those are filed down. Now remember, like I said, you wanna focus around that cuticle area. All your nails you think filed. I do mine really well, make sure that's all off. So essentially, just double check that this is how you want your nails to look. I like to just give them a good feel. I think those look really good. So the next step is putting on your top coat. Okay. So I do 2 layers of top coat. The first layer I don't pay too much attention to. I do it very quickly. Let that dry for a second. You want to give it about, I don't know, I would say about a minute. And then you can apply your second layer, and this is where I spend a little bit more time. All right, so you let those dry. Now, I did these nails a little bit thicker than what I usually do. And then when I'm done, what I do, after your nails have dried, you want to make sure you give them a good minute. I apply a very thin coat of the OPI nail oil or cuticle oil around my nails. And that's it. That's the AVVA dip kit. So here's my thought after doing my nails with the AVVA dip kit. I like it personally so much better than the Revel nails. I said it. I know Revel is a really popular brand because it is so affordable. The quality is nice for the price. For this dip kit, it was about the same price as the Revel dip kit. For me personally, what I've noticed using this today is the quality of the dip powder is a lot better. I could have got away with just doing 2 coats of this dip, even if the color is really light. When I used Revel and I did a really light pink, I ended up having to do at least 4 coats. Now, if you saw my review of the Revel dip kit on Instagram, that was because I had tips on at the time. And I think that having tips on really reflected in the quality that I got after using the Revel dip kit. Overall, this is definitely worth the price. The fact that it comes with a brush, the fact that it comes with all of the different soaker tips, the fact that it comes, if you do want to give yourself, say, a French manicure type of style, you have the dip tray to do that. Plus, everything's packaged really well. You get 4 individual colors. Now, I ended up buying 3 more additional colors. I always like having a clear dip in stock. I would give this probably a 9 out of 10. It worked really well in 3 steps, which is a lot less steps than the Kira Sky. I like it just as much as the Kira Sky. So that is my full review of the AVVA dip kit. If you found this video helpful, please like it and don't forget to subscribe.